Detective John Ramirez had seen a lot in his 15 years with the Portland Police Department, but nothing like the case that was now consuming him. Reports had started trickling in a few months ago about a mysterious black van that roamed the city streets at night, seemingly targeting women and children. The disappearances were sporadic at first, easily written off as unrelated incidents. But as the list of missing persons grew longer, it became impossible to ignore. The van was an old, battered thing, almost spectral in its appearance. Witnesses described it as having no distinctive markings or license plates, making it nearly impossible to track. Surveillance cameras would catch a glimpse of it here and there, always in the shadows, always just out of reach. Ramirez, a seasoned detective with a reputation for being relentless, was assigned to the case after the 6th disappearance. Among the missing were a young mother, her 2 children, a teenage girl, and 3 other women, all between the ages of 20 and 35. The city was gripped with fear, and pressure from the public and media was mounting. Ramirez delved into the investigation with an intensity that worried his colleagues. He pored over every piece of evidence, every grainy video, and every witness statement, trying to find a pattern, a clue, anything that would lead him to the van and its driver. The detective's obsession grew, fueled by a personal vendetta. His own sister had vanished under similar circumstances years before, her case never solved. One rainy night, Ramirez sat alone in his cluttered office, the soft hum of the overhead lights his only company. He was studying a map of Portland, marked with the locations of the abductions, when his phone buzzed. It was a text from an unknown number tonight. 3rd and Pine. The van will be there. His heart pounded as he grabbed his coat and bolted for the door. Ramirez called for backup, but something in his gut told him he couldn't wait. He sped through the empty streets, the rain-slicked roads gleaming under his headlights. When he reached the intersection of 3rd and Pine, he killed the engine and waited, his eyes scanning the darkness. At precisely midnight, the van appeared, gliding silently through the rain. Ramirez felt a surge of adrenaline. He radioed his position, knowing backup was still minutes away. He couldn't let the van slip away again. He stepped out of his car, his gun drawn, and approached cautiously. Portland PD. "Stop the vehicle," he shouted, his voice cutting through the night. The van came to a halt. For a moment, everything was silent, except for the rain pattering on the pavement. The driver's side door creaked open, and a figure stepped out, shrouded in a long, dark coat. The face was hidden in shadow. "Hands where I can see them," Ramirez commanded. The figure didn't move. Instead, a chilling, almost inhuman voice echoed from the darkness. "You can't save them. You can't save yourself." Before Ramirez could react, the van's rear doors flew open, and he was overpowered by a rush of figures, their faces pale and expressionless, eyes void of life. They were the missing transformed into something unrecognizable, something monstrous. Ramirez fought with all his strength, but it was futile. The creatures dragged him into the van, their grip cold and unyielding. The last thing he saw before the doors slammed shut was the figure in the coat, watching him with eyes that glowed faintly in the dark. The van disappeared into the night, leaving no trace behind. Backup arrived to find Ramirez's car abandoned, the rain washing away any evidence of the struggle. The detective was added to the list of the missing, his case joining the others in the unsolved files. Portland remained haunted by the van's legend, the disappearances continuing sporadically. The city whispered of the detective who had come so close to the truth, only to be swallowed by the very darkness he sought to expose. And somewhere, in the endless maze of Portland's streets, the van still roamed, its sinister driver ever watchful, ever hungry.